We're going to begin this hour with a story about a breakthrough idea to help young children with disabilities. It's a program offered at Tulane University in New Orleans, created a community for a group of undergrads. So the students took a very ambitious concept and created something that is now changing the lives of some incredible young kids. Lead national correspondent David Begnaud, so you know this is going to be good, shows us what happens when ingenuity intersects with generosity.
This is a story about a small chair, but it's got a big impact. The kind of chair that gives mobility to children with disabilities. Meet Jackson. He's a 4-year-old boy from Covington, Louisiana.
Look at that big smile.
He has dystonia. It's a condition that affects his muscles, and he has a developmental delay. He doesn't walk or speak.
When they offered you this wheelchair, was he mobile at all at that time?
No. Elizabeth and Brian Fabregas are Jackson's parents. They say after 8 months in that chair, Jackson has been able to sit up on his own, and now he's moving around independently.
So it gave him a more ground level view.
Yep, that's what made me happy, because it's like he's included with everything.
The parents say that the toy-like chair has been wonderful because it created a playful experience with Jackson's older brother, Brody, and has been the bridge from not walking to now using a walker.
Okay, so give us the report card. How would you grade it?
It's an A+. I mean, it's helped Jackson, become more mobile and be able to be adapting to the other things that he's going to be offered. It's helped his development.
Now, meet the man at the front of this creation, Noam Platt. He's an architect in New Orleans who heads up an organization called Make Good. They focus on assistive technology, the kinds of devices people can't find in the commercial workplace or can't afford.
Pull this out.
Platt came across the design for the chair on an Israeli website that lists open source information for developers like him.
You just called the hospitals and said, hey, I'm making this. Might you have a need for it?
Yeah, I mean, I have a previous relationship with some of these health systems through my work as an architect. And part of it is really empowering the clinicians to understand that we can go beyond what's commercially available. We can really create almost anything.
Get those bells.
Sebastian Grant. He was born premature at just 24 weeks old. He spent 10 months in the neonatal ICU.
He has gone through more in his 15 months of life than adults have gone through their whole life.
Sebastian needs a trach to breathe, and he's still being fed through a tube.
Sebastian, look! Need your little chair.
We were there with Sebastian's parents, Tamara and Shane Michael, when he got his customized chair.
This is a chair that he could be in and go around the house and actually be in control of himself a little bit.
Yeah, I'm scared for when we get to that point.
I hope your heels are ready, because he gonna be running into y'all with that little chair all day. That's why they put bumpers on the front.
Yes, thank God for the bumpers.
Here's a baby who spent most of his life on his back, and now he's sitting up straight. His therapist says it is a game changer.
Yay, Sebastian!
This costs how much to build in total?
I believe each of these was under $200.
To buy a wheelchair for a kid this small through an insurance company could go for how much, do you know?
$1,000 to $10,000.
The labor to build these chairs was free. Platt's organization partnered with Tulane University to find students who would volunteer their time and skills to build the chairs. 15 chairs have been made over the past year.
Oh, it was so moving.
Tulane student Alyssa Bachman is part of that team.
For me, it's very grounding. You can come in somewhere here like the Makerspace and make such a huge impact on a child with only a couple hours of effort.
The design is really simple. The base and the wheels are made out of wood. The plastic attachments are 3D printed. It's all assembled by hand. Those bright colors are intentionally childlike. And right before Sebastian got his chair, the Tulane students and Noam Platt went back to customize it.
We're putting the name tag right here.
You got your hand on the wheel. You're so smart.
So that it could hold his little ventilator and the tubes that make it possible for his 24-pound body to keep going.
And here, I want to show you this too, is that they're all signed by the people who make them, which is also really neat. And it's just that extra bit of personal touch that really connects kind of through time to the people who made this, to the people who use it.
So that chair was made with love from multiple strangers who will never meet Sebastian.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but definitely needed.
That says a lot. Like, just how everything comes together to help my son. It's overwhelming.
What would you want to say to them?
The sense of gratitude I have, they would never understand. You really mean the world to us. What you've done for him is make his life a little more easier.
Look at that.
Bravo,
Amazing.
Noam Platt and his team. David, they thought of everything, everything.
Yeah, listen, and I want everybody watching to think of tomglobal.org. That's the open source website. This should be happening everywhere in America because Tulane was telling us that when you're that young, insurance won't pay for wheelchairs unless a kid can operate a wheelchair independently. So these little mobility trainers, you guys, help the kids build up some strength and some coordination. But for Jackson and Sebastian, they went from not being able to move on their own to now having some independence. I mean, can you imagine what that does for a family?
No, you know what? It's a reminder to me, guys, of how much we take for granted. And by that, I mean something as simple as sitting up, like we're all sitting up straight right now, that now these kids can do that.
Yeah. No, every detail of the story and every detail of the wheelchair is so beautiful. The signatures on the back, the little name tag, the kids' colors. It's just a gorgeous story and a gorgeous project.
We should all aim to have an impact like those group of people that are doing really good work for families that need
Impact,
awesome
that's
stuff.
the word.
Impact.
Thank you, brother.
Impact and a whole lot of love. I like that Noam Platt and his team. Wow, that was really beautiful. Thank you, David. Thank you so much.
You bet.